Good morning, America. How are you? Can't you see I'm your only son? Is it only son?
Good night, America.
No,
How
it's
are
good morning.
you?
Good morning, America. How are you?
No, I'm just being
Can't you see
contrarian
I'm your
already.
native son? Native.
Yeah.
Sung by a Native American. What a beautiful song. Yes, you have joined Mark and Blink for another episode of Moped Outlaws.
And it's not just nationwide. Apparently, we got audience in various parts of Europe.
And China.
Yeah. Greg and I were checking out the demographics, what little of them there are. And we were amazed to see some consistent listeners in Istanbul.
Wow. Well, shout out to you, Istanbul.
Yeah.
Man, my heart goes out to you. I hope to visit one day on a
Yeah, me
moped.
too. Yeah. That's a long ride across the ocean on a moped.
Yeah, we'll be taking a trip on a ship with a stiff upper lip. Where is
with
Istanbul?
Good caffeine drip.
Oh, fuck yeah. Now I'm in, all in. You had me
I
on
bet they
hello.
got good coffee in Istanbul, right?
Fuck yeah, they do. Are you kidding? Isn't Istanbul like near Turkey?
I don't know. We'd have to check. Does any place in the world not have good coffee at this point?
You know, that's a very, I think, gosh.
Yeah, it's probably yes. Somewhere does like the Congo where they have anything, where everyone eats
anywhere
dirt
that has bad
and
coffee
bauxite.
still. Yeah. What is bad coffee? Like it's been sitting out in the pot. It's weak, watery.
Well, it's Maxwell House Instant is bad coffee. I don't care where you are.
Okay, I'm not going to throw her under the bus, but my little sister loves instant coffee.
Under the bus she goes.
She loves it. It is her go-to. And I love her for it, because the joy she gets from it is a merry morning.
All I drink is decaf.
Really?
Yeah.
That is so sad to me.
And I was going through all my banking receipts because I'm working on my taxes and stuff, and I was seeing where you and I went to Red Whale Coffee, and I was like, oh, can I write that off as a business meal?
Yes, the answer to that is yes.
Oh, jeez! I screwed up.
R2D2, you motherfucker! Who's calling?
Scam Likely. My friend Scam Likely. I'm not picking it up this time because last time it didn't make the show better.
It did not. It ruined it. You know what I love? Yeah. Do you get those texts like, hey, it's been a while, I've just, just that, like, or did you get that report in or some stupid shit like that?
Yeah, I don't know. I get weird texts, but nothing like quite like that.
Oh my God.
But I get them. I get weird DMs on social media, and I get texts from girls who supposedly thought I gave them my number.
Right, exactly. They're total scams. My go-to reply to all those is, I'm with your mom.
Yeah. Don't bother me. I'm with your mom.
What's brilliant is when they try to keep it going. Wait, is this Gary? Do I have the right? I'm just like, shh, no. I'm with your mom.
No.
Oh my God. One person just started yelling. It was brilliant, like all caps. Fuck you, you fucking stupid. I was like, yeah, I'm with your mom. And just
wow.
Yeah.
That's
like their facade melted instantly. Like they had mother issues.
Yes. Yeah. Well, speaking of mother issues, on this day 60 years ago, my mom was in labor with me.
Wow.
Poor thing.
Can you imagine that?
For over a day. It was like 36 hours or something.
Wow.
And she finally was like, all right, I'm pushing this kid out at 10 o'clock on the 7th. So it was like 10 p.m. She's like, I'm done. Get out.
Time to go. Time to go.
Yeah.
You know what that's from?
Try not to tap on the desk.
Well, that was part of the effect.
Yeah. Well, when I was
All right,
editing
here.
last week, I
Time
was
to
like,
go. Time to go. You know what that's from?
no.
Pink Floyd, The Wall.
Oh. Didn't Roger Waters just redo the whole thing all by himself? The Wall? I think he did. I think he just re-recorded the whole album.
He just wouldn't let it go. The final cut was not the final cut. God, the
Oh no,
final
it's
cut
Dark
was
Side of the Moon he re-recorded.
he re-recorded it.
Yeah, Dark Side of the
Not
Moon.
remastered it, he re-recorded it.
Well, Roger Waters recently announced he's re-recorded a classic Pink Floyd album, The Dark Side of the Moon, which turns 50 on Wednesday. When we recorded the stripped down songs for the lockdown sessions, the 50th anniversary of the release of Dark Side of the Moon was looming on the horizon, Waters shared in his post on Facebook. It occurred to me that Dark Side of the Moon will be a suitable candidate for similar reworking, partly as a tribute to the original work, but also to readdress the political and emotional message of the whole album. The post featured a snippet of Waters' take on Us and Them. And it turned out really great. I'm excited for everyone to hear it. Talk about messing with something that shouldn't be messed with.
Yeah, what a dink, man.
Well, that's what I think. Like most people are like, meh. But he's
That
become
guy,
quite the curmudgeon.
well, I heard he was awesome in concert. Our friend Harley saw him when his last pass through. She said it was
Oh, yeah, he's
amazing.
amazing. No doubt. No
And
doubt.
he is a knowledgeable person, it seems, when it comes to foreign affairs and world politics. But he certainly, when it comes to artistry, he's a bit of a dink. Like the final cut was such a fall from The Wall. The Wall was so amazing.
Well, you can sort of begin to see now why it wasn't possible for the other guys to hang out with him anymore.
This is Roger Waters, Pink Floyd.
Right. Yeah.
By the way, which one's pink?
I would love to sit down with him. I wouldn't want to alienate him with this conversation, but it is sort of interesting how protective and attached we get to other people's art if it's ours. This happens a lot with Star Wars. Like people come out and they're like, that movie could have been so much better.
You know, that's funny because Mandalorian's coming out with its new season, or maybe it's already.
I saw episode 1.
Yeah, so and I was thinking of you, and I was wondering, as a registered official Jedi, are you required to watch all Star Wars series, movies, anything Star Wars?
I have made a commitment to the order, which doesn't require me, but be fully compliant with my own integrity. I have to.
So is Mandalorian off to a good start with this new season?
It's off to a great start.
I gotta say, this trailer for it, I was like, oh, I might be in. And then I thought, but I'd have to watch season 1, and I'm not sure I'm up for that.
The way I look at it is if you haven't watched season 1 and 2, you also need to watch the Book of Boba Fett, which is a secondary series, because there's overlap in that where it has the Mandalorian in it. And if I were sitting where you're sitting, like I would be so stoked because of so much great Star Wars stuff to watch. Like that's 2 and 3 seasons full plus whatever when you finally get done, you've got the rest of season 3 of Mandalorian to go into.
What about Obi-Wan? Should I watch that?
Obi-Wan's great too. Obi-Wan, in some ways, Obi-Wan is more cinematic and less like a TV show, right? But what's interesting is the flavor of each of these shows is directly related to the writing and the executive production. Like Ewan McGregor was the executive producer on Obi-Wan, and he had a lot of input on what went down. He also had enough clout to get certain characters that we haven't seen much in the other series into the series. And I had criticism of it when it came out. I was like, oh my God, they did that. Oh, and I wasn't too happy about it. But over time, I was like, well, wait, It is cool. And so that's why I'm intimate with this idea of people having attachment to things that aren't their artistic creation. Because I felt that too. I was like, well, I think they should have done this. And then I was like, well, wait, no, it's fine.
You know, that is interesting. It's also interesting when an individual starts losing sight of what the group brought to the whole, which I think it happened for Roger. Because I was listening to Uma Guma. Are you familiar with that Pink Floyd album?
No, I'm not. Talk about
It's
things to discover and have pleasure in.
yeah, it's
Maguma.
really good. It was a double album back in the day. And I think one of the records is live at one of the colleges and the others studio stuff. But each one of the musicians really brought something. And even Dark Side of the Moon, you listen to Dark Side of the Moon, the keyboards, the drums, the bass, the guitar, you know, the vocals, they're all integral to the whole. And I think The Wall was the same way. And then from what I've heard from Final Cut, he kind of did a Steve Perry and just took over. And or who's the other guy from Guns N' Roses? You know,
Axl Rose.
Axl, yeah, like so these guys who just take over suddenly and the band's not involved anymore. And I've yet to see it be a better product than what the band created as a whole.
Yeah, and it's important to remember that, like with the Beatles, they had Brian Epstein, who was the guy who, you know, made final decisions. And then when they get to the later period, it gets really crazy, and the lack of leadership and cohesiveness starts to show cracks in the thing. So I think that you can do group leadership and group dynamics to a point, but sometimes having a vision helps, right?
Well, that's a good question. I'm not sure. You know, I have heard people say that were part of the Heartbreakers or E Street Band that Tom and Bruce are the boss. Like when it came down to it,
yeah,
they were the boss.
It's their vision, right?
Right.
And both those bands have names that have the name as the thing. Right. Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, right? Yeah. But look at the Traveling Wilburys. Every single one of those people is a dynamo, right?
Yeah.
And the way they did it was they just let each artist, each writer, be the one that made the final decision. And I think that's a good way to do it, is you get the guy who wrote most of the material to do the thing.
And
they end up co-writing a bunch of stuff too.
The Beatles were kind of like that at the end, from what I've heard. You know, like John would come in with a song and he'd get stuck at a part, and Paul or George or someone would throw something in. And, you know, John would be like, all right, that works. Let's do that.
Well, I started to rewatch the Get Back show on Disney, and it was tough. I started to, like, when I was first with it, I was just so, oh my God, I'm so glad I have this thing never seen before, never heard before. And I just so like enchanted by the thing. And then on the beginning of the second viewing, I started to realize, oh my God, the emotional ennui and the way that they're acting out. And, you know, I'm like, oh yeah, these guys are like 27, 28. And they've been doing this since they were like 17, 16.
Even like, before that, right?
Yeah,
like you were, yeah.
Yeah, John and Paul were, I think, 14 when they started the Quarrymen.
Right.
Yeah. And then they added George like next year or something. But, you know, what with Roger Waters, like, he's written some new stuff, and going back and rejiggering all the old stuff sort of seems to hint at this idea that maybe the well's gone dry. Like maybe he doesn't have a whole lot more to say.
Well, according to Harley, he has a lot to say.
Roger Waters, the love songs. Like, would you buy that album?
Roger Waters does Liberace.
Oh, I got to be careful with you. I don't want to get into like a time machine with you, or something that would jump timelines or jump universes, because I might end up in really weird places.
What do you mean?
Like, Prince sings country. Prince sings the country hits.
Hey, speaking, I just saw a little clip from Jimmy Fallon Tonight Show with Chance the Rapper doing a country version of "It's Getting Hot in Here," and he kills it. He killed it. And
I'm sure.
I've always respected
He's
Chance
so
the
talented.
Rapper. Yes. And I think the way he killed the country version of "It's Getting Hot in Here" shows his talent.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, he's a badass.
Yeah. Other bands, other musicians, like when Sting started doing his solo projects, and he did kind of a jazzy thing with that Dream of Blue Turtles, and then he went into that Mid-Eastern kind of feel with I Dream of Rain, where he had Ofra Haza, and there's certain artists, and then like Peter Gabriel, same thing. He can go into these deeper stylistic places.
David Byrne, his whole South American thing.
Yeah. I think that's the way to go. And what it feels like sometimes artists get caught up in the kind of stylistic paradigm that they've created for themselves. And I love Mike Healy, the band Genre Busters, right? It was like we just do everything, do all these different types of sounds. That was one of the crazy ideas. Yeah, it's crazy ideas are the best. Like if I could spend eternity in a universe, it would be a little bit hard on me, but I would choose the eternity in the comic book of Mike Healy's brain. There's so much there. Like all of the old sci-fi books he's read and all of that. I mean, it's madness. It would be tough. It would be tough. It would not be easy. But
there's a lot of heat in that oven.
That's true. We love you, Mike. You're pretty damn cool, man.
Hey, is that Jim Talley in the background of this photo?
No, I don't think so.
Upper left corner.
I see it.
Where was this taken?
Oh no, that's someone in the kitchen at the house where this was taken.
Oh, okay.
So this was taken in Sebastopol at a friend of my partner's in her house at a party. I think it was her 50th birthday party, actually.
Her
50th birthday party. And all the floral arrangements were amazing on the table. So I just went around and took photos. And so then I popped this photo to our background. I was so enamored of the candles and the flowers that I didn't see that there's a weird bearded dude in the background.
It really looks
creepy.
Like Jim Talley.
He's plotting the murder of these flowers. He's gonna come out later and spray them with vinegar. No, I don't know.
Looks like it's a very fragrant bouquet.
Oh, it was awesome. What a great party. We did the thing with the Bluetooth speaker, and we got drunk and danced till it got late.
Nice.
Yeah.
Man, our internet, we're having trouble.
Yeah, I see that the bars are going up and down, and I don't know what that measurement says. Is that about us or is that about them?
It says Wi-Fi is unstable, but I'm hardwired in, so I think it's your Wi-Fi.
Well, that would make sense. I haven't restarted the router in 3 weeks.
We'll
see how this goes. It might be over.
Art is yelling at you right now.
Yeah,
Art. The photo of Art just crying is like so apropos in this moment.
What's scary is he's holding that damn gun.
Yeah, well, that's why he's crying, because he has to shoot another brother he loves.
You don't have to shoot me, Art. We'll be here next week. Even if this ends early, it won't necessarily be a bad thing.
Yeah. 3 weeks. Damn, Mark. Damn.
Hey, I'm going for a record. I'm waiting for them. I've heard that there's going to be fiber in my neighborhood. I saw them installing it back in November, and I'm like, they said, "Oh, it'll be ready in February." And I'm like, "Okay, I want it. Call me. Like, let me know. I want it." And nobody's called me, so I've been waiting. I think I'm going to circle back and be
call them
and say, "Hey, come on."
Proactive.
Yeah.
Proactive on the things that are important to you.
Well, I don't know. Fiber's important, but not
To
that
art, it's really important.
Fiber, he needs it in his diet, man. He needs that fiber in his diet.
Don't we all? Especially at our age.
Yeah.
So your birthday's tomorrow.
That's right. 60 years old.
Wow. Fucking A. Get you a rocking chair, a porch.
No, I got
A
neither of those.
pastor.
No. I got hiking boots and a bike, and I need to get the hell on them as quick as I can.
Get on your hiking boots and your bike. What are you going to do?
Well, I have a tradition, and the tradition is that I walk the Golden Gate Bridge.
Right.
And I do it partially because I'm testing the theory that will I jump this year? And partially because the lampposts all have numbers on them.
That's right.
And I like to go to the lamppost that reflects my age. And the side I walk from, the numbers go up. So every year I walk a little further. Unfortunately, this year it's an even number. So the lampposts are on the side where there's no walking. It's only the bicycle lane on that side. So I won't be able to go to the exact lamppost this year. I'll just have to settle for, 61.
Go to 61.
Yeah.
So it's like a shadowing of what's to be.
Yeah. No photos, though, until next year. I'm superstitious about that.
Ah! Superstitious. Yeah. There's a great song. Stevie Wonder.
Yeah. Yeah. The way. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. My partner's going to surprise me with something. She had me clear my schedule for both Tuesday and Wednesday.
Oh, nice.
So I don't know what it'll be. Maybe it'll be an overnight. I have no idea. The other tradition I have is, I don't know. The other tradition I have is there's a really, really, really great restaurant and chef in Petaluma, California called Central Market. And it's one of those farm to table places, really, really great handmade food. They have a pizza oven, but he does pastas, and he does like everything is. And so once a year on my special day, I go there and I have the ultimate in homemade butterscotch pudding. Like for years, I was on quest to find the best butterscotch pudding. And in my mid 40s, I discovered at this place called Larkspur Inn.
Lark Creek Inn
in Larkspur. And they had the real deal, like made from scratch butterscotch pudding. It was great. And then they closed. Yeah. And for like 3 or 4 years, they were like, where's the butterscotch pudding? And so I remember trying some pretty sketchy butterscotch pudding just because it was my birthday. It's like this thing, and I was finding it. And then one year I called the Central Market and I'm like, do you guys have butterscotch pudding? And they're like, yeah, we make it fresh every day. I'm like, oh, okay. I'll be there for dinner. They're pricey, but they're worth it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, depending on your partner's surprise, because her surprise could be where you guys walk the bridge and then you continue down the coast and spend the night in Monterey.
Anything's possible. Sometimes breaking the pattern is worth it.
It'd be super cool if she got some of that butterscotch pudding and so it was packed away for the road trip.
Yeah, it'd be good. I don't know what's going to happen. That's how I like it.
60. Damn, son.
Yep, you're not far behind me. Wink, wink.
I don't know. From where I'm standing, I look very far away.
Yeah, you're already 60, buddy. Don't lie.
Oh, the cat's out of the bag.
Yep.
Man.
So, for those of you who didn't know, welcome to the Boomer Podcast. Hey, Boomer. Okay, Boomer.
Boomer. What is Boomer? What is Boomer?
It's
baby boomer?
Yeah, baby boomer. It means, unenlightened one.
Boom, boom. Out go the lights. Were you ever a Pat Travers fan?
Travers.
Yeah.
Not really a fan, but I have heard a few songs from time to time. He always seemed like he had a good vibe.
Yeah, his live album, Boom Boom, Out Go the Lights, is
Yeah. It's
and the
it's
song that song.
essential. It should be in every rock record collector for sure.
Yeah, that and also Rick Derringer's live album.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be interesting if I started right now. Could I listen to all of the great classical albums before I die?
No,
Like, there's a bunch of them,
yeah, you can't. There's still more to be discovered. Like all of a
right?
sudden, I was listening to. I found out because I listened to Dave Grohl's book on YouTube, and
Yeah.
I have learned that that's not a good resource for listening to books because I checked it out from the library. They do audiobooks,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, oh, there was a lot missing from the version I heard. But all of a sudden, I started listening to the old, 70s and 80s punk bands like Scream and Flipper and Black Flag. And I was like, oh my God, this stuff is so good.
Yeah, that's a great book. We were talking about it last night at rehearsal, and I was going, I really enjoyed it. It was great insight to see how he went from, the high school dropout drummer kid to full on success. And his mom played a huge part in that. She just was like, she got it right away. My kid's not going to be a brain surgeon. He's not going to be a rocket scientist. So she encouraged him over and over to do what he loved. And that worked out. But I have a criticism of the book.
Okay.
And my criticism of the book is that he basically avoids a whole bunch of the dark side of the stories. Like he leaves out some of the more sort of wicked and dirtier aspects of the lifestyle that he led at the time. And I think there's a good reason for that. But I would like to read that book also, just to hear like some of the crazy shit they did that he doesn't necessarily want everyone to know about.
Well, that kind of like one of the things he talks about is what you focus on is what you bring into your life. Yeah. And it does have me thinking, like he seems like a super cool guy. And maybe it's because that's what he focuses on. So he mentions Kirk's addiction and
he mentions a bunch of stuff, but it doesn't really go into depth. But for considering what you just said, the fact that he made Hotel 666 and then kills off his drummer in that movie,
Studio
within 4 months, his drummer's dead in real life. Like that would freak me out too.
Well, the whole band's killed off in the movie, except for him. So
yeah, you're right.
Did you see that movie?
I did. I watched it as soon as it came out. I was really stoked to see it. I love that band. I love the Foo Fighters. I was heartbroken when Taylor died.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see because they've announced their tour. Did you see that little animation they created?
No, I didn't see the animation. Where is that?
It's on their Foo Fighters YouTube channel. It's a little
I'll go check it
40-second thing.
Yeah, I'll check it out. I've been, sort of clicking on any YouTube channel that talks about who they think the new drummer is. And that, I've heard a lot of the speculation. And then someone on, I think it was Twitter, said, oh, well, they heard from someone who's an insider at the rehearsals, which that's got to be bullshit because nobody who's an insider at the rehearsals is going to reveal any of this shit. But that they're going to actually have no drummer on stage. The drummer will be behind a curtain backstage, and it'll just be the Foo Fighters with some dude, and because it might be a different guy on different nights and stuff like that. And I'm like, that can't be real. I can't imagine. Even if Dave had like a different drummer for 4 nights than the other 5 nights, they'd be out there having fun with them, right?
Well, man, he likes a band. I think they all I think they're all who they are. Like he even talks about, I'm just at the part in the book where he broke his leg at that show in Europe. I think it was in Sweden.
Yeah.
And they kept playing. And he said how that really was a new chapter for the band as a whole because they were all about love and joy and music and those things getting through the challenges of life.
Yeah.
So I just can't see him doing something stupid like that. And yeah, it is stupid. So if it happens, I still will say it's stupid.
So who do you think the drummer is going to be?
God, I have no idea. Taylor Swift.
Swift. So a lot of people think Josh Freese is a big possibility. Rufus Taylor's my choice.
Is that the guy you really liked from their
Yeah.
Hawkins tribute?
Yeah, he's tough because he's in a major band that tours, and so that would be a big problem for them. So I'm curious. I'm down to go see them. I saw them in the Bay Area when they were at Napa at that festival that's in Napa. That's
the Bottle Rock.
Bottle Rock, yeah. And that was badass because I made the effort to get close. And during their show, they went over curfew.
And they pulled I remember
pulled the house.
This. Yeah. And he kept playing.
They kept playing. We could hear the monitors. They could hear the vocals through the monitors. The guitar, of course, fucking loud. Like you almost didn't even need the PA with those amps they have on stage. It was
brilliant.
Yeah. So right now, the Foo Fighters are top of the pile as far as I'm concerned. Like, I would, put them on the top, put any name up, and I would say Foo Fighters. Didn't that happen on one of our episodes recently?
Yeah, Foo Fighters or Eminem. The book is encouraging me to just be who I am, which I've always
Hallelujah.
said. I think I've held back from it. Like, look, check this out. Last night, I'm dropping Bodhi off at her home, and this car, like I'm in the road, but there's definitely room where a person can get by me. And this car stops ahead. It's nighttime. And then it comes up slowly, and the man rolls down his window. And he's an older man, probably in his 70s, and his wife is next to him. And I roll down my window, and he says, I just want to back up, right there, this driveway that's right in front of us. And I said, all right, I think you could do it. And the wife goes, no. And I went, I think he can, ma'am.
No holding back. Wiltker unleashed. Look out, world. Here he comes.
And what was hella funny is Bodhi and I were listening to Punk, and I was like, oh, I think they pulled up at the wrong moment. But fuck it, he did. He goes, you know what? I think you're right. I think you can. She's all, no. And he did it. And I was like, fuck you, woman. Sit there and shut up. You're not driving.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I'm in full approval of you being your fully expressed self. If not now, when?
Exactly. If not now, when?
Right? Stardom awaits you. Finally.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out. I'm not worried about that. That's a little
or
scary.
cancel cult. One or the other, or both. I guess you have to be a star before you can be canceled. So, hey, why not?
I'm not worried about being canceled either. There's an English. It's coming to me. Hey, you know what?
Yeah.
Speaking of stardom, I do have a callback I'm going to tonight in San Francisco for a independent short film.
We'll break a nose hair.
Thank you. I'll do my best. Speaking of this kind of stuff, how's your solo
meeting on Saturday or Sunday with my producer? We both kind of out of it for a couple 3 weeks, but we have a collection of demos as they are that need to be improved. And then once we have those, we're going to start going out to different musicians that we're going to use to supplement and augment. And we've made about, of the 11 songs, there's about 80% of them we know which ones are going to be just acoustic and which ones are going to be full band. So the full band ones involve more rehearsal time and getting the right players. One in particular, which is called Down by the Ocean, which is written by Nigel Healy, an amazing songwriter and performer and just all around good dude, Michael's brother. He has given me permission to record that song on the album. So it won't be an authored song. I didn't write it, but it's such a great song. And whenever I play live, I tend to perform it because it's just such a great song. And when we were doing the Illumination album back in 2016, we had hired an organ player to do the songs on that. They managed to steal him away because the band was like off. We weren't in recording something, and he was there ready to record, and there was some kind of lull in the action. And I'm like, hey, I said to the producer, can we just quick throw down? I'll just throw down on this mic right here, which was the vocal booth mic song, and have him play along with it. Just capture it. We want just as a rough cut. And the guy played really good, and the band was a little miffed that I stuck the time in, but it was only 3.5 minutes, and I got it in there. I went back and listened to that recording, and the guy's great. And so I talked to the producer on that record, and I got the name of the keyboard player from that. And there's a guy who moved up from LA, a guy named Alan Hertz, who has really good equipment and really good analog equipment and a B3 Hammond organ in his studio. And I found out that he's got that and he's tuning it up. And so one of the things I'm definitely going to do is go pay for the session with this keyboardist in the studio to get his part on Nigel's song, because it's really going to fit. And it's going to be a band song, but it's not like you might imagine, like a full band. It'll be trickling in. There'll be acoustic guitar and organ and bass, and then like the drums probably won't come in for the first minute 30, and then they'll come in soft, almost like there's blankets on the drum. It's going to be an interesting thing. So yeah, I'm working on it. And the tentative title is Bone, Blood, and Breath. No, it's Bone, Wood, and Breath. Sorry.
Bone, wood, and breath. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what's happening with that.
All right. When are you and I going to go get tattoos?
I don't know. Did you talk to my partner about my birthday or something? I don't know.
No,
what are we going to get tattoos of? We're going to get tattoos of the Moped Outlaws logo?
Yeah. Yeah, but before that happens, we better make sure you're on board with that logo.
Yeah, it's growing on me. Literally.
Mold tattoo.
No. Yeah, I don't really like to show people behind the scenes, but I like our logo, and we were talking about the other day, could we have something else as well that's cool? And what's the name of the artist again, Greg? What's his name?
Brian Bent.
Brian Bent, like, he's an amazing artist. He's done some amazing stuff. And the fact that he, took the time, energy, and attention to come up with what we got is great. And, I'm kind of a middle of the road guy, right? So for me, if I were in charge, if I did a Roger Waters on our logo, it would probably water it down considerably.
Oh, that is something we found out about each other. Like, I go raw, hard punk, and you're like, well,
Yeah, give me an acoustic guitar and, fuck Johnny Rotten. That can take a flying hike. He sucks. Send your cards and letters to the hosts at mopedoutlaws.com.
Johnny Rotten is awesome.
It's in his name, right?
In fact, what's that song that he did with the
Who cares? Who cares?
PIL. Public PLI. Public image. No,
Public PIL. Public Image Limited.
Yeah, they have that song I love so much,
I feel for you.
Totally lost. Anyway.
There's that song that you love so much. You have my passion for that.
Hey, where are we on playing music on our podcast?
It's not doable, not without a whole bunch of money. We started which channel, and then we could play whatever we wanted.
Man, Art is just saying, Mark, if you don't restart your Wi-Fi next episode, I'm going to use this gun I am holding in my 6-year-old hand.
Yeah. I'm going to go back, and when I do the promo videos for this week, I'll just get all the glitch. It'll just be all the glitches.
That'll be perfect. Yeah.
It'll be like
Last
the
week
Max
was all
Headroom
the
promo.
laughter. This
Right.
week's the glitch. That's the name of this episode, the glitch.
Glitch episode.
The glitch and the
low
acoustic
res,
guitar.
low res Mark.
Yeah.
And he's somewhere deep in the oceans, hidden from view, where unknown life forms have been growing, danger lurks. And now, Pink Submarine takes you on the adventure of a lifetime to discover the depths of the dark, dark ocean. I don't know what came over me. I
Only
just had to use my Move
$49.95.
FM voice. What?
Isn't there a song like down by the, oh no, it's down by, that's Neil Young, down by the river, I shot my baby.
Yeah. Yeah. Down by the river. That's one thing we could do. We could do all of the great songs we love if we did them. We could perform them ourselves.
Yeah.
But that the results might not fit intentions. Yeah.
And Mark's frozen in time.
I'm not frozen. I'm right
No,
here.
you're not. Your Wi-Fi sucks ass.
Yes. Yeah. How do you really feel, Blink?
I feel like I should take this gun and put you out of my misery.
I like the way you phrase that. Put you out of my misery. Well, there's a joke in there somewhere.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
Deep in the bowels of the ocean.
I found my best joke, and it's in the barrel of this gun.
Hey, are you a Ween fan?
Wing?
Ween, W-E-E-N, the band Ween.
Oh, I've heard, from what I've heard, I like them, but I haven't really gone deep at all. I barely know any of their music at all. But from what I've heard, I mean, oh wow, these guys are good.
Yeah, they're badass.
Yeah. And I feel a little shame being like, I couldn't name a Ween song right now. And they've been around for a long enough time that you'd think someone who likes music would have heard their music, because they are really great.
They have an album that's pretty much all ocean themed. It's a good album.
What's it called?
I think it's called
Moss
The
on the
Mollusk.
Seashore?
I think it's called The Mollusk. But I'm not I can't. That's either a song on it or the name of the album or both. Great album.
Yeah. I'm thinking about a concept album myself.
What?
It's called The Mall.
M-A-L-L.
Concept album. M-A-L-L-L. And it's heavy metal songs done on the xylophone.
I like it.
You know, like Enter Sandman.
Obey your master. Ding, 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 ding. I have a concept album called Maul also, but it's M-A-U-L.
Oh.
And it's just noises of bears mauling people.
All right. Well, that brings up an incredible subject. The Cocaine Bear movie.
Your audio just kicked in.
The Cocaine Bear is finally out.
And I hear people are loving it.
Like, whose idea was that? Like, I want to know more about how this came to be. I heard it actually happened. Like, I heard it was real. So that's it. Truth is stranger than fiction. You can't make this shit up. It just happens.
Yeah.
But are we going to see?
Are
we going to see the Cocaine Kangaroo? Are we going to see King Kong and the Cocaine Cowboys? I mean,
yeah. King Kong and the Cocaine Cowboys.
I think
that's a band name.
Yeah, or a porn film.
Oh, nice. Man, we are having technical. Like my computer, the fan has been screaming through this whole episode. Do you hear it at all?
No, we're not hearing it in the show from what I can tell.
That's good.
And
your audio just like 2 minutes ago suddenly lifted up to audible levels.
well, who
No,
knows?
it was good. I don't know. Maybe this will be an episode we throw out.
Yeah, well, I'll call you tomorrow morning and say, we got to redo it. Let's do it this
Okay,
afternoon.
I'd be willing to do that.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen.
This will be the lost episode.
There'll be 2 episodes that come out on March 6th, and that you can pick and choose episode 1 or episode B,
The story
episode A
line.
or episode 2, right?
Yeah.
But you have to wear the same shirt, because I'm going to take them and I'm going to cross cut them so they absolutely make no sense.
Oh, that'd be so awesome. I would love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be a little hard to listen to.
Who fucking cares? We're doing this for you and me.
That's our motto. That's the title of this episode. Episode 92. Who fucking cares? I know people that care. I do.
Really? And they're in Istanbul, apparently.
Sorry. And you know what? If you're just tuning in on episode 92, it's just starting to get really good. Greg has decided he's not holding back anymore, like he ever was before. And now it's really going to be something, because you know what? In order to keep up, I'm on off the charts, baby.
Yeah, I like it. I feel like John Belushi walking up the stairs in a toga, glancing over at some pecker with an acoustic guitar and just smashing the fuck out of it. Yeah, pick that bitch up and smash it. Down by the ocean.
Mild thing. You make my heart feel kind of okay.
You know what? That just reminded me of, oh my God, I just forgot the name of that comedian who did that whole like
Tiny Tim.
Thing. Sam Kinison.
Oh,
Sam Kinison.
Sam Kinison. Yeah.
He went off the rails in a big way.
Yeah.
I've heard Joe Rogan talk a lot about like people, usually stand up, who started to believe they were the character they had made up. And Sam Kinison's one of the guys he mentions where
they just kind of got lost in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm about 35 minutes into the latest Joe Rogan, and I'm like super into it. Oh, why am I forgetting the name of the person that it's an English comic?
Oh, yeah. Shit. Fuck.
Right.
And he has his own podcast.
He
didn't get me to the Greek.
Right. We're both having a senior moment here. We can't remember this guy's name.
This is not good.
I want to sit down with you and watch it together and have a conversation.
Russell Brand.
That's right.
That was without Google. So fuck you all. Fuck you all. Thinking I was Googling, but it came to me before I could even type it in. So fuck you all. I'm not old.
So speaking of strange support from the digital gods, today I have a meeting after the podcast about a product that I want to get to market. And so I had ChatGPT give me 275 possible product names for this product. And it was fun because it came up with, it was like, how you sit around the room and you're like, hey man, we need a good name for this. And like, you get like 6 or 7 and everybody goes, none of it's really that great. And then the product never comes out. Well, I got 275, and out of that I picked 24, and I took those 24 back, and I said, well, which one's going to be the one that makes the most money? And it picked 2. It says these 2 are probably the best. And I knew it was right, and I was also a little disappointed because they're kind of middle of the road names. They're not super exciting, but they are perfect for a product name.
Oh,
right?
That's so funny. But didn't you just say moments ago that you're a middle of the road guy?
Yes. ChatGPT's picking up my thing, man.
Yeah. Why are you disappointed? It nailed it.
Well, because I wanted, something with a little more excitement in it. Not
So
so
can you say the names? What's one of the names that weren't picked?
rejected.
Yeah.
Hang on. Let me pull up my document here.
Little bitch muffins.
Little bitch muffins. Yeah, that's it.
The toothpaste that eats away your enamel.
All right, so there's 291 entries. Pick a number.
63.
Okay, I'm going to 63. The Family Power Tower.
The dildo that does.
All right, pick another number.
72.
No, I can't use that one because it's too close to the one I picked.
Okay. 126.
The Supercharged Citadel.
All right, so tower is definitely a part of this thing. It's a dildo, isn't it?
Well, we're not trying to guess the product. You get one more number, and then we're done with this game.
Okay, 3.
Oh boy,
because it's the magic number.
The Charge Castle.
The Charge Cattle?
Castle.
Oh, Castle. That's so funny. Castle, Tower, Citadel. What the fuck product is this?
Well, you'll know after the show.
It's a sheath that you put on your penis that gives it another 12 inches.
Hey, we got a new sponsor this week.
Yeah. You know what?
We got adrenochrome soda and shark skin condoms. They feel good going in.
Oh, that's very sad. Adrenochrome soda. They did stick with us. I was very happy with that because that is the soda from the mouth of babes. Shark skin condoms.
If I have time during my meeting with my entrepreneurial partner about this other product, I'll ask him about adrenochrome soda.
Yeah. I was thinking about that, and I would love it if it was in the Dr. Pepper realm of sodas.
Meaning that's the flavor? Like dark cherry?
Yeah, but have you ever drank Mr. Pibb?
Yeah.
Is it good?
Not compared to Dr. Pepper.
Fucking Dr. Pepper is so good.
Mr. Pibb is the Pepsi of Dr. Pepper, basically.
Yeah, and Pepsi is the Pepsi of Coke, so fuck Pepsi.
Right. Right.
There's only one Coca-Cola.
New energy drink from the Illuminati. Adrenochrome soda.
Yeah. What's the sodas from Mexico? I just spaced out the name. Super
Fanta?
Sweet. No. That's what I wanted to say, and that's not it. They're really sweet.
I don't even know that one well enough to think I've forgotten it.
One moment, please.
While Greg is checking the Google.
Jarritos.
Oh, yeah.
Really sweet.
42 grams of sugar in every bottle.
Exactly.
There's any liquid at all.
Man, I love them, though. I don't drink them very often. I drink them as often as I drink alcohol.
I bet they go great together.
Oh, probably would.
Alcohol and rum, or rum, and those would probably go together. I can't remember the last. Wait, I can't remember the last beer I had, but I haven't drunk any alcohol in a long time.
You talked about your last beer you drank last episode.
Yeah, that's why.
A bitter beer from Christmas Eve. Not a bitter beer drinker, are you?
Oh my God. I was thinking of you yesterday when I was watching a Will Smith post on social media. So it's out there today.
Okay.
And you should go check out his most recent post on Instagram. I don't want to talk about it here because it won't be that meaningful for the audience, but go check it out because it'll be meaningful for you and me.
All right. Hey, speaking of that kind of stuff, you know, Chris Rock is doing a live stream stand-up on Netflix this weekend.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's wild. There's like a preliminary to it with all these friends of his doing some sort of thing, and then he's doing his live stand-up, and then there's a post-show thing. and it's all live streamed on Netflix.
So you have to watch it when it's on.
I think
Well, maybe
so.
not. Maybe it'll be on there afterwards
Well,
too. You can watch it afterwards.
what I hear is that his stand-up will be available afterwards, but the
But the pre and
pre-show
post
and the
won't.
post-show won't.
It's an interesting way to drive traffic to Netflix. They're definitely that, live TV. Who knew in the streaming industry that we would go all the way back there, and that would be the thing that brings people in.
It is interesting. It's an interesting world.
We're innovating again because here we are.
Yeah.
Live stream TV with the Moped Outlaws and Zero Audience.
Yep.
Well, tomorrow I promise to come back from the lamppost that number 61.
All
I
right,
will be
you
back.
promise.
I promise.
If I get a call from your partner,
It'll be because she threw me over and it's all a lie.
All right, should we end with happy birthday?
No, because I'm superstitious about it. Don't sing it to me unless it's
happy birthday to you.